Fox 16 News at 9 starts now.
The state seizes control of its largest school district, making a landmark day for education in the natural state. Good evening, everyone. I'm Donna Terrell.
I'm Kevin Kelly. We begin tonight with a breakdown of today's events. The State Board of Education, with a 5-4 vote, decided to basically remove the school board in its entirety in a takeover. Nearly 25,000 students and more than 40 schools will now be under state control, and only 6 schools were considered academically distressed. Fox 16's Marcy Manley at the special meeting earlier today and has more on how the vote for takeover succeeded over options for partnership between the district and the state.
Motion carries 5-0, 5-4.
A tie-breaking vote cast by the State Board of Education's chair, and the entire Little Rock School Board sent packing.
This is about people who could not win the democratic process, so they took dictatorial power today over the city of Little Rock schools. This will help no child.
The motion by member Vicky Saviors came after a proposition for partnership failed at a tie vote.
No bold action of improvement has occurred to change the direction of these schools.
Many in the public had urged for the state board to avoid extremes because of 6 schools in academic distress.
If I break my arm, you don't put my whole body in a cast. You treat my arm. And that's kind of where we are with schools, 6 schools.
And many who supported takeover took care to avoid the term.
We've got a long ways to go. I think it's time that you put us in the timeout box.
The Little Rock School Board replaced by Commissioner Tony Wood. Superintendent Dexter Suggs staying on in an interim basis.
It has nothing to do with power or control. It has to do with what's best for kids.
Well, state board members making it a point to say come tomorrow, school is in session. Teachers will be in the classroom, and that the education of Little Rock's kids will in fact continue.
And the majority of people that spoke during public comments in the meeting today, they asked the state to give the new school board a little more time and avoid this takeover. Parents tonight reacting to the state's decision. Fox 16's Leah Uko is live from Hall High School, one of the schools the state will focus on improving. And Leah, you spoke with some teachers and students from Hall High. Why are they upset? Specifically, why are they upset with the state's takeover?
Well, Donna, we also spoke with parents as well, and they all say they believe that this fairly new LRSD school board could have helped save some of these schools and others if they were given ample amount of time. They also feel that this new state board is too disconnected from a lot of these local schools to know exactly what's needed to help fix them.
You don't really have anyone to, take your opinions to, voice your concerns to, because that's been wiped out.
Raquel Bates says time was all the Little Rock School Board needed to help failing schools in the district catch up.
Fix it by giving someone an opportunity to make it right.
She says the Arkansas Department of Education's vote Wednesday to fire board members and immediately take their place put stress on her and her daughter.
Because it's been stressful to her, worrying about, am I going to lose the teachers who are really there, concerned about my progress and me doing well, versus new teachers coming in, changing the curriculum.
Raquel isn't the only person concerned curriculum will change for the worse now that the direction of learning in Little Rock schools is in state, not local hands. Disappointed students talk with state board members moments after their decision.
We could have did better. We should have did better. And now we just got to go. Now we just got to make it through this, and maybe in the future, hopefully, we can reverse this.
Teachers storm out of the building.
We have to sign off on any alteration of district
in a frenzy of flurry and concern over the future of their jobs and their programs.
This is a pretty big blow. I don't know if they'll be able to work through it.
But when frustration settles down, 12-year-old Keith, who watched the board's vote from class, says the basics of education remain the same.
Either keep our grades as high or make them higher. Just keep working. And if you do have a friend or a buddy that go to one of those schools, you got to tell them.
Encourage them.
Gotta come on and work.
And I spoke with State Board member Vicki Savers today, who says the board does not plan to lay off any mass amount of teachers, nor does it plan to cancel any school programs or classes. Savers also added that the board will work hand in hand with Little Rock School District Superintendent to start working immediately on problems the district needs solved. Donna?
Well, you know what, Leah, I'm so glad you gave us the kids' perspective on this, because, you know, we've been talking about this so much, but when you hear a mother say that she and her child have been stressed out over this, not knowing what's going to happen to their teachers, I mean, there's a lot. When you think of a state coming in and taking over a school district, it has a ripple effect on everyone.
Right, that's exactly what she was saying. She was saying because her daughter is stressed, it stresses her out. But I do want to note that the boy sitting next to her was her son, and he says he wasn't too worried about it because he was just going to continue to do his part and focus on his grades, no matter who or what teachers he had, what board he had. He was going to continue to do his part. But yeah, she did say her daughter was completely on the other side of this whole situation.
Well, her son's message, I think, should be something that we should all pay close attention to.
I think so too, Kevin.
Especially as we go through this entire debate.
Kids got to get those grades up. All right, Leah, thank you.
Leah. Well, people and even political figures, as you know, Donna, all across the capital city posting their reactions to the state takeover on social media. And we've been following very closely some of the comments that have been coming in. In fact, Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin tweeted the following, saying, "Long overdue for State Board of Education to take control of @LRSD and allow Arkansans to pursue real, meaningful reform." Another tweet sent into Fox 16 comes from Mary Kay Groves, who says, "The state taking over LRSD makes me all the more excited to get out of high school." And we've also been monitoring our Facebook page. This one was sent in by Tri Maya, who reached out on our Fox 16 Facebook page with this statement saying, "I transferred from Little Rock Central High to another one. The state took over the school district I attended, and I hated it. They came up with all sorts of academic plans, and if you failed," it goes on, she says, "you weren't graduating, and due to the distress of money, they took away sports my senior year." So some interesting comments coming in on our social media pages that we consistently monitor. If you want to weigh in, just go to our Facebook page and post your comment, or if you want, you can send me a tweet. Now, coming up later in this newscast, we'll have a reaction from recently elected school board member Jim Ross. Find out what he thinks about the state's takeover and what the future looks like for LRSD.
Now, weather to plan your day with Fox 16 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin.
An unusually mild day across much of the state today. Temperatures well up into the 60s, central Arkansas, western Arkansas, mid to even upper 70s. Look at DeQueen, only a couple degrees shy of the 80-degree mark. Texarkana up into the upper 70s at 77 degrees. Fayetteville, 71 degrees. Across central Arkansas in the 60s and farther towards the northeast, temperatures in the 50s. Some cooler air just to our northeast. Central Arkansas pretty much right in between some colder air to the northeast and very warm air for this time of year over the plain states. Right now, still pretty mild out there for the most part. Some mid-40s towards the northeast, still in the 50s around the Little Rock area, and still in the 60s across parts of western Arkansas. Mild 63 in Hot Springs, and a very spring-like 68 degrees right now in Mena. It was only about a week ago. There was some snow on the ground around the Mena area. Here it is, 9 o'clock at night, and temperatures still in the upper 60s and still in the 50s across much of south central Arkansas right now, 53 in Pine Bluff. We do have a few clouds moving across the state right now. That's helping to keep those temperatures up a little bit, but certainly no rain in association with these clouds moving through the state. And they'll pretty much be by us as we get toward tomorrow morning, although a few more clouds approaching from the northwest. That's in association with an approaching cold front, but not expecting any rain with that front as it moves on through, mainly during the midday hours, but those winds will start to pick up a little bit, especially during the afternoon, but staying dry as we go through your Thursday. So here's a look at that hour-by-hour forecast. Starting off pretty mild during the morning hours, just a light jacket, early 50 degrees at 6 a.m., wearing up to around 60 by 10 noon into the low 60s. That's about as warm as it's going to get, though. As that front moves on through, temperatures will start to drop back a little bit by the late afternoon hours, and especially towards the evening, and then that's the beginning of a cooler pattern as we head towards the weekend. I'll show you what temperature changes you can expect and when you'll need those umbrellas coming up in your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
A Fox 16 crime alert for you tonight. An attempt to locate a parole violator turns into a stolen property recovery and a 3-month-old going into DHS custody. Saline County deputies went to West Colonel Glenn Road to find Kenneth Alexander. They found him hiding under the house. A search warrant uncovered stolen property and a baby living in deplorable conditions. Kenneth Alexander faces charges of endangering the welfare of a minor, theft, and drug possession. Deputies also arrested Heather Tyrell, and she faces drug charges and endangering a minor.
North Little Rock police have released video of a gas station clerk being robbed and shot. Tonight, the search for the shooter is far from over, but before we show you at home the video, we do want to warn you the video is graphic. Now, police tell us 2 men robbed the Shell station on Main Street Saturday night. One of the suspects shot the clerk. As you can see here, he survived. That's the good news, and has been released from the hospital. Robbers are still being sought, so if you know anything that could get them off the street, you're being asked to call the North Little Rock Police Department.
A wrongful death suit filed by the family of a detainee who died in Saline County Jail custody will be in the hands of the jury. According to federal court documents, the family of Casey Babelvac rested its case. More than a half-dozen Saline County Sheriff's employees, including former Sheriff Bruce Pennington, were named defendants. The jury is slated to return to court tomorrow afternoon. Babelvac's family members allege officers used unnecessary force and denied him medical treatment during his time in custody following a traffic stop.
Maumelle police showing zero tolerance to door-to-door salesmen. The proof? Officers arrested 3 men today. Fox 16's Brittany Johnson explains why the chief fears solicitors are bringing more than just magazines to town. Brittany.
Well, Kevin, Maumelle's police chief says you can make door-to-door sales in Maumelle. You just have to have a permit. So when groups come to town and spread across their neighborhoods, they say most are doing so knowingly breaking the rules and skipping the background check, most importantly. Today, officers found 3 solicitors in Maumelle neighborhoods following what they see as a pattern. The chief says that a van full of about 7 to 15 young adults drives into town. Then they spread across their communities selling magazines and cleaning supplies. And they often do this in the middle of the day when people are at work, and that puts police and homeowners on guard.
We don't know who they are. We have found in the past that historically some of these folks have criminal histories. We've had people that had drugs in their possession. We've had a lot of these people have warrants from other states issued against them. So it's the kind of element that we are trying to keep from coming into Maumelle.
Today, the chief used the department's Facebook page to warn community members that solicitation season, as he calls it, has started. Now, if someone comes to your door, he says that you should feel free to call police, but don't confront them about whether they have a permit. Police will either verify them or arrest them. Now, police say the leader of the 3 people arrested today would not pay their $150 bond, so they were taken to the Pulaski County Jail.
I know some of these are legitimate and they have their permits, but there are others out there that are looking for some other type of opportunity. They're out there scoping the homes to see who's home, who's not. Did police find out about the people, anything more about the people who were arrested today? I mean, where they were from, and did they even know that they were breaking the law?
You know, Kevin, he says that the leader did show up in a van with other people saying, hey, they knew that they needed a permit. They just planned to get one tomorrow. He says that's what they always say in these cases, and that he also had one of the men who they arrested. That person did not have a license, did not have a state issued ID or any form of identification. So it took them a while to identify him, and that's part of the problem.
Interesting. All right. Good information. Thank you, Brittany.
A Fox 16 money alert. Citizens of Morrilton bringing back a community tradition, a barn raising. Yes, indeed. The Grow Morrilton initiative is drawing people to make a difference in their community. The Chamber of Commerce asked residents 2 years ago what they would like to see in their city, and now dozens of committees will make the responses come to fruition. They range from cleanup, parks and recreation, to education, and so much more.
Allow the average citizen out there an opportunity to have a say in what the plan would be for the future of Morrilton and Conway County, and that they be a part of it.
The goal of the Grow Morrilton initiative is to grow the quality of life. This barn-raising event is the first of its kind, and it's going to be held at the Morrilton Chamber of Commerce from 5 to 7 Thursday night. That would be tomorrow.
I think it's a great idea.
I do too. Whenever you can bring a community together for a common good, it's always nice. It's always nice to see.
As long as the majority of people agree with it. That's right. I mean, that's how it works. You know?
I think that's called democracy.
Is that what it's called?
I think it is, Kevin.
That's right.
Tensions rise at the state capitol today as lawmakers discuss the fate of a joint holiday. We will take a look at the future of the holiday honoring Confederate general next.
And a local man wants to help you keep your money away from scammers. Why he nearly lost $1,000 after receiving a call from someone claiming they were with the IRS.
At Dubois.